Dunes and contradictions. Dunes with the third beach. Dunes in the rain. It's raining on a Lawrence of Arabia set. The place is inexplicably flooded. Dunes and ducks, familiar shores. Paradox added. And Oregon is a pull-apart pastry in the morning. It entertains two identities, the desert, the Eden. There are deer in the puddles and all the low places. Eyes, rainbows assign their respective intermittent suns. Their colors compete with Abu Tai's battle flags. Deer and the expectation of deer, camels too. You know, of all the times to have it happen, I seem to be deprived of my own essential prayers. Time being time, beautiful, healthy, but someone's closed the door, the shadow people. It may be some rainy jihad approximating all that Muhammad imagined possible in a downpour. I wouldn't be surprised to see Omar Sharif in a yellow slicker, or T.E. Lawrence, his pages, trying to keep his pages dry, the 7 pillars of wisdom perhaps. So make it a temple of slip and slide and color it tan with pines and dune buggies getting up speed for a dash to Mecca. Go anywhere west, anywhere east, the sands deceive. Third beach, my sister had said, I'll take you there past Umpqua Light and the oyster beds, jetty north and jetty south on the waterway of warnings. This she did. And in the first moments of Third Beach, drudgery was forgotten. There was a sense of easing. And I would trust that feeling like money for groceries in heaven. Just concentrate, the desert and the rainforest's care. What are your thoughts, I thought, indeed? What irony of rainfall informs your fear of desert regions? What army to overrun your campfire's embers only? And asking, it becomes quite clear that nature is policed. We had a good look at its constable light and dark, and suspects wander and consider the odds of getting caught. I'm somewhat unavailable myself, where something absents itself and leaves the sand to the mercy of rainfall. Chance to speak then. Speak before the paradox demands your personal surrender. Use the Arab abacus to calculate your losses, your chances. Peaceful in that reckoning and hearing deep voices. Make a note to know the meaning of the name Third Beach. Drink water, it's a desert. Stay dry, it's a rainstorm. An unseen Poseidon attends his peripheral shore, the ocean his eyeballs, and H.D. Moe, his ambassador to land, to legend, still writing for the year 6000 like he said he would, and being exclamatory in the outer space of North America. Memory of Greeks, elite reign. Penelope, wife of Ulysses, has deserted Ithaca to walk this beach with Telemachus, her son, homeschooling him by the light of Umpqua that swivels science, mathematics, and rhetoric. I meant to call you to tell you she was seen. I meant to say, sorry, the picnic's delayed while everyone's gone to see the god of aquamarine. And David Lean, the director, has dampened his movie set, and his extras have fled to Winchester Bay's cafes, bars, tables, and chairs. The signal flags say to stay or to go. Say to the boats, the yachts, and the jet skiers that familiar floods have washed away the Sahara. The weather is more hospitality than show, and war just forced research into manners itself. Looking at the art of war as if it were a gallery gone to hell, including acrylics. The dunes are meant for cinemascope. The rain is a drive-in deluge, an expectation of essential prayers in the shadows. The deer are silent the while the conifers toss. Will we compete until there's nothing left absolutely? Age tends nothingness the same you have described. There is will to do this. There is also communion with umbrella day, desiring nothing so much as antiquity's weather. Showers, thin lens of rain smudge and drizzle down, like a watercolored technicolor moonscape, in which your imaginary companions appear once again on the mystical path north-south, this third beach, and persist like a storm, welcome in and out of the noontime. Giza's children splashing in Cairo, courageous, or they are Berbers from Morocco. Third beach is a third condition, neither wholly arid or entirely humid, but seeming both. A sepia delight, the pastel soul of black and white, an arts organizer in the village of outdoors on a rainy day of dampened crystals, the least gift of the circus sand, and the birds beneath the big top are trapeze citizens, The pyramids must be slippery by now, and their summits subject to electron exchange from the trapdoor skies, where all our mothers and fathers appear with bolts of recognition. Here is Shelley's Ode to the West Wind, because the West was always arriving on shore somewhere, the wind as direction, close up, and crossing the line of the surf zone complex. Gale force the length and breadth of dune world in wild elevator waves comprising first beach, second, and the rest of the waves to Coos Bay's blue. Shrouded holy Arabia or the Dead Sea in love with commandments. Wrong and right already. We are stopping at times as if we'd already arrived, stopping to see if nothing's enough to meet all this something. So anti-Rommel that the Allies should have had someone that came to Africa, dying in tanks. So why don't we stay here in case the story of the world has ended and this rain is just an afterthought of Lazarus, estranging. Be witness to the commencement of limbo, why don't we? Illusion is the treasure that the pirate appreciates. The planets are wanderers. We'll wander on this, our wandering planet, and let the light there is be all the government there is of the mind, of the myth of the body, yet captured entirely as one may be captured by Marines. There, we have done it. Walked out, dunes and contradictions, dunes and the improbable rains. Summer and winter married before even a proposal was made. And love, no doubt about that, there was an exchange of rings and things. But everything's different now. Ripples collide. Some bridesmaids whispering a sea breeze of tease. It should be a double wedding by the end of the day. We were getting jazzed for a journey out of and into, when the very date and time of year awaits your passing through. Animal of time and remembrance, and the religious times of the day and night, do you bemurmur Kansas and the humid plains, out of the wind and safe in the drugstore, father and mother to all fathers and mothers before, proceeding to Topeka to camp out in the grain elevators, like waking up some morning, the kid you've now become with another way of talking. You never had so much at once. It's like a cracked open. Can you imagine that? More of a state than something explained, or the insanity others have taken for granted. More of a place than a two-bit direction that angles through donkey well derricks, flustered with in and out. A place unlike Sedona, Arizona, where no one in a pink truck and megaphone proclaims a butte to be a metaphor or a kitchen to be a vortex alive with a cook and no cookbook. Gobbling oranges squeezed all to death in a remembered morning manner. And underneath language, squeezed from the summers of Sumer. It's like they get what I'm getting more than I get. The only safety is repeat everything. And I've said this before, it's like a train you jump on and rushing forward in the dark. It is easy to die without appreciation of dying. Sandman, unemployed and no longer required, joins a dirty dozen or so muses getting laundered money and workman's comp. That's the way it is in the mountains and the plain. It's right and it's wrong all along, like a terror from the cellar, the passion of a rock hound catching sight of old houses of the Sierra Madre and dawdling way past the final gun of just a game of finding out comes preposition, itis of from and to and into comes similes and conjunctions of like and likened to and just as. Bonanza minus Haas, and that's sad. As a parking lot of jobless, cold in Colorado, getting jazzed for a journey out of and into. The very date and time of year awaits your passing through. Animal of time and remembrance in the zoo of Emerald City, closer and more beautiful than ever. And once the poppies are behind you and the lion's back up on his two hind legs again, you want to break out the licorice long before you get there, out of breath at a Vishnu temple with a bell out of order, please knock sign. Bright angel fan out of the wizard's anterooms green in the sun, as though a city could be washed and waxed like a Mercedes, and the many munchkin hands busy with squeegees. Dorothy all the while growing up into an Amazon, married before she clicks her heels together 3 times, says there's no place like Hollywood, there's no place like Hollywood. Get used to it. The scarecrow wants a light and has been playing with matches again. The Tin Man's addicted to oil, and the rinky-tink is due on Oz Flight 1914. But Glinda's controllers have walked off the job into her obelisk like a castle. We may have to move that way ourselves soon to be safe enough from runways and towers. And I want to tell you that I read in The Wicked Witch of the East, the journal she was keeping just before the house slammed down. Now, she may have had it coming, and the rehabilitation would have sufficed. Still, I wish they kept her in a castle keep somewhere where she could have been good on her own time until needed, because good without evil doesn't back to Kansas go. And Dorothy's daughter's just been nabbed by a tornado.